Commissioner Tonio, Borg, Commissioner for Health and Consumers, you've come into the job and immediately you've had the horsemeat scandal dropped on you, which must be considered to be very bad luck.
No, life is never done.
But do you feel that there are any lessons that have been learned from it straight away in this early stage?
No, there are always lessons to be learned. Of course, the system has worked in the sense that it was a member state which discovered this fraud, and the enforcement of the legislation which is in place. So it's not a question of absence of legislation, functioned in the sense that it was enforced by the member state concerned, Ireland, which discovered the fraud. And then once that was notified and another case arose in the United Kingdom, the Commission is coordinating now a string of inspections which will take place during the month of March, which is being co-financed by the European Commission itself. Lessons learned. Yes, we are preparing a package of legislation which had been prepared much before this incident, but now we would like to add the proposal that we can not only recommend certain inspections when things of this kind arise, but also binding member states to do so. But of course, whatever we do, the possibility of someone breaking the law is always there. The importance is that once someone is caught, the investigations lead to criminal trials, and that the appropriate punishment is meted out.
I mean, you mentioned that this was found in a routine check in Ireland, but it was a random check, and they're fairly infrequent. They've only got 15 inspectors in Ireland. The feeling is that perhaps this has been going on for a long time, do you think?
It could be, but of course it's thanks to the modern means of testing that we are discovering these frauds, because up to 10 years ago, I mean, DNA testing on food products for animal species was barely non-existent. So it's thanks to these modern means of technology, and now the results are coming out. As regards the inspections, those are in the hands of the member states. I must say that this was discovered because of a random inspection on the cheapest kind of hamburgers in a supermarket in Ireland. So the system worked in that sense. Whether one should increase the inspections in the member states, that depends a lot on the financial and human resources in the member states themselves. Do not forget that this is one incident out of millions of transactions which go on every day on meat products. We have a single market of 500 million consumers. Even the initial tests indicate that a very small percentage has been influenced by this fraud. But still, it's a serious breach of consumer confidence.
But it is a fraud rather than a health issue here. And it does seem that criminal gangs must have been involved in this. It's not just a mistake, is it? There's something going on here.
That is too early to state. It would depend on the results of the inspections. With the results of the inspections in the month of March, we can come to the conclusion whether these are just ordinary criminal activity or much more than that.
Are we going to see labelling coming on for the ingredients for processed food in future?
For the ingredients, it's already in place as regards animal species. The question is, should we extend it also to place of origin? That is to say, not only for fresh beef, which is already in place, but should we know the place of origin for even minced meat, for instance, or processed food? There's an impact assessment on that issue. I must say that this is completely unrelated to the current incident. So this incident would have taken place even if we had the place of origin legislation. But some member states, a growing number of member states, are insisting that we should take this opportunity as a springboard to introduce more labelling legislation for transparency purposes. And we are considering that.
How will you restore confidence? How will the Commission restore consumer confidence? Because it has been shaken.
First of all, it's not a question of food safety. It's important not to create panic where there is no need for such panic. And secondly, that the results of the inspections are published as soon as possible. I have committed myself that I argue it's useless to have the inspections, co-finance them, and then we hide the results. The results should be public, should be transparent, even to allay certain fears that this is widespread everywhere. The indications till now are this is a very small percentage, but still a serious infringement.
Just finally, I mean, is this partly down to the fact that because consumers expect to spend so much less on their food these days than we used to, say, 30 years ago as a percentage of income, that the producers search for the cheapest sources of meat
No, I think it's a question of fraud. It's a question of making gain from fraud. The purpose of this fraud was economic gain. This is in violation of the European Union laws, and there is no excuse for that.
Tonio, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much.